So very good evening, Adab, Sat Sri Akal, Vanakkam, and welcome to another special session at the Playbook. I am your host for the evening. I'm Varun Mahendra, co-founder and CEO of the Playbook. A little about what our platform is. It's a safe social learning community for kids to learn, to engage, to socialize, to share what they create and earn. And in that process, build life skills. Today we are here to discuss about a very important thing, and that is the ever-changing 21st century and what all it brings along with it. In a world where change is the only constant, career options, career opportunities are taking a massive shift. Things that were unheard of a few years back are the most sought after professions these days. To discuss more about it, today we have CA Aditya Sharma, who's joining us and helping us out in knowing more about it. A little about Aditya sir. He is a qualified chartered accountant, one of the most loved and leading educators, teaching about accountancy, finance, economics at Unacademy, an angel investor, and also one of my mentors. So without further delay, I would like to welcome CA Aditya. If you could please come in and introduce yourself, share more about yourself, that would be really helpful.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. First of all, guys, very good evening. I hope you all are doing absolutely amazing. And we are also doing good here. We just had a little early conversation. We were talking about this great platform, which is a gamified solution, which is providing students with the all relevant content which students need this time. So it's really great to be here. And the most important thing is I feel really good to invest in this startup, which is delivering values to the student, which is required at this particular age. So thank you so much, sir, for giving such a lovely introduction. And yes, my dear student, to tell you a little more about myself, I'm a qualified chartered accountant and an educator on Unacademy. I teach CA students, that is chartered accountancy course. Basically, I take care of. And yes, I'm an investor in Playbook, and this is going to be, the most profitable investment I'll say for my life. And I see a very long-term association with all the stakeholders here. Yes, sir.
Great. So, sir, like you have the name, the prefix of a CA attached, and it is one of the most difficult career options that anyone chooses because काफी time लगता है. I mean, बहुत long process है from the foundation till the finals. In between that practical exposure, और उसके बाद most of the parents and most of us feel that या तो आप practice कर लो, if you have a firm, आप वहाँ you start practicing on your own, or you take up a job in the corporate in different fields. Now you did not do any of it. You decided to build more accountants, more people in finance, and became an educator. So sir, आप अगर अपनी journey के बारे में थोड़ा share करो कि ये दिमाग में आया कैसे, that would be really nice.
Sir, I always wonder and think कि life always works in mysterious way. पता नहीं कोई चीज हम कैसे सोचते हैं, it ultimately land up somewhere else. So when I was very young, I guess I was 10 or 11, I used to think कि मैं बड़ा industrialist बनूंगा, और उस टाइम पे मुझे industrialist का मतलब भी नहीं समझता था. I just used to think कि अच्छे से कपड़े पहनेंगे, good coat, blazer, and suited, booted, everything will be perfect, and I will be walking in my own factory. और फैक्ट्री किसकी है वो भी मुझे समझता नहीं था, बट दिस वाज माय ड्रीम एंड आई स्टार्टेड वर्किंग ऑन दैट. और हमारे घर पे कहिए या फिर सोसाइटी में कहिए इनफ गाइडेंस नहीं रहती थी. इफ आई टॉक अबाउट द ईयर 2006 2007, एट दैट टाइम नो वन यूज्ड टू गाइड अस दैट वेल. सो एकदम प्रिमिटिव बेसिक स्टाइल में वी यूज्ड टू स्टडी. आई क्लियर्ड माय 10th. आई वाज स्कूल टॉपर एंड आई वाज 3rd or 4th इन सिटी. सो ऑब्वियस था कि आई वाज सपोज्ड टू टेक साइंस, सो आई टुक साइंस. साइंस में लेने के बाद आई वेंट फॉर IIT And for those 2 years, in 11th and 12th, I failed miserably. मतलब बहुत poor performance था. Then someone guided me that ki go for company secretary. I went for company secretary post inquiry. Then there was a person who said that कि भैया CS की तो batches ही नहीं है. Why don't you try for CA? So I turned up for CA. And it happened that पूरी की पूरी class fail हो गई and only I was the person who cleared CPT at that time. Then I thought कि चलिए अब तो accountancy के अंदर ही career बनाते हैं. I'll open my own office. Then तब तो practice के बारे में ही पता था, job के बारे में इतना पता भी नहीं था. वो मिर्जापुर का डायलॉग है, शुरुआत मजबूरी में किए थे फिर मजा आने लगा. So I started working in this. I had corporate work experience in Big Four, which is largest multinational auditing firm in the world. वहाँ पे मुझे experience मिला. I continued with my job. So in my initial years after becoming chartered accountant, I continued with the job. Then later I realized my passion towards teaching. I quit my job, and I'll tell you, sir, today on this platform I'll share you. Uh, I was getting handsome package of 10 to 12 lakh per annum. I quit that job and I worked for just 3,000 rupees per month in the year 2018 just to follow my passion. So life works in very different way. मतलब मुझे पता भी नहीं है after 4 or 5 years what is going to happen. But this is the thing. This is my passion which I'm going to stick with. So कहाँ से शुरू किया था? Till 10th standard I was not sure कि what are the career options basically available. Till year 2018 I was not sure about my passion toward teaching. I used to teach earlier, but I discovered that yes, I'm good in teaching and students find it really interesting the way I teach and they understand the concept. They are able to score good marks. Then I pursued this as a full-time, you can say profession, a teaching profession.
Wow, wow. I mean, very, very inspirational, sir. And वही है कि life plays its own game. आपको नहीं पता रहता है कि आपको कब क्या hit कर जाए. But very important thing that you mentioned is कि जब passion identify हुआ, once you identified your passion, you made it a purpose, and now it's your profession. And of course, like to all the viewers who are watching out here, we have a lot of students who are in at that age where you think about going to an IIT, going to some other college, the leading colleges, but identify करना कि आपको क्या पसंद है, ना कि society क्या देखती है. That is important. And I'm sure, sir, that शायद से this would have been one of the reasons कि आप जल्दी identify करवा दो ताकि आपका जो जर्नी रहा from a topper to someone who failed, then steadily was confused, and then today you are here as a professional guiding different students. So great, sir. My next question to you is, and to the audience out here, if you have any questions related to finance, career options, all of it, you can just put down your questions. We would be happy to answer those. And one interesting thing, another thing is that even I am a qualified chartered accountant, but did my job, like work with one of the largest MNCs, then into startups, and today I'm running my own startup. So what life plays around with it, plays around with us, it's totally uncertain because it's the ever changing 21st century after. Sir, my next question to you is that every day, every second day, we get to know about some or the other new rules that are coming. तो आप लाइक ये बहुत लोगों ने मुझसे भी पूछा है कि कौन सी डिग्री ली जाए. तो क्या लाइफ में फॉर स्टूडेंट्स, फॉर यंग जनरेशन, डिग्री इंपॉर्टेंट है या फिर कंटिन्यूअस लर्निंग, और अगर कंटिन्यूअस लर्निंग है तो वो कैसे अपने आप को अपडेटेड रखा जाए?
So sir, I'll give you one example here. I cleared my chartered accountancy first, then I became graduate, then I cleared my graduation. There was reason behind doing graduation was academic degrees required in this arena. If I say in this competitive world, if you want to get placed abroad, if you want to work in big companies, they ask for graduation, and some government civil services course definitely requires graduation. Also, when I was very young, my parents told me that formal education is necessary. It is the safest route. If other things are not working for you, at least this thing is going to work for you, and this gives you confidence. So whenever someone asks me, कि you are a chartered accountant, but you are a teacher now. So what's the connection between these two? So I say that this gives me enormous confidence. This degree gives me enormous confidence. I feel very confident when I present myself in front of anyone. So definitely we are recognized for our skill set, not for our degree, but it is like a entry door. We should have formal education. We should, means I always say we should at least be graduate or postgraduate from good reputed college, so that whenever there is, um, I can say, a fall in your life, or if you say that other things are not working, you try to follow your passion, but it was just a call from your heart, you are not good at that, and at that particular time, I think this degree, this formal education helps a lot. Regarding continuous learning, definitely this formal education or anything, any degree is just the entry gate. Everything you have to do after that. So those who speak, those who are good at communication, those who are good team player, these are not a formal education, communication or teamwork, or we can say leadership. These are not formal education, but this helps you to grow a lot. So continuous learning, not only in term of technical knowledge we require, but rather this other interpersonal skill or personality we have to work on. I say that to conclude it in short, we should have graduation degree or any other course or diploma, whatever formal education is required. If you want to get placed abroad, then formal education of 12 plus 3 is required. That means you have to be at least graduate to apply for universities abroad. So formal education is required. It is the safest tool whenever you face setback in your life. You can go to your primitive job, original job, and you can work there. And this gives confidence to take risk. So why I can take risk? Because I know if I fall or fail in my life, I can go back to my job. I can start earning there, and can help out my family. So this gives confidence. So degree is required for that matter. For continuous updation, if you are in a particular stream, you have to stay updated. If I'm a teacher or a chartered accountant, I have to keep myself updated with all the relevance update of taxation, costing, or whatever subjects are there. And let's say you're in marketing, so you have to upgrade yourself in terms of digital marketing or whatever course you're doing. So upgradation is necessary, but formal education is compulsory. Even after 10 years, if we see, formal education will get the same value. So it is not going to drop.
Great. So important points that you mentioned here is that yes, formal education is important, but that is an entry gate. A very important thing that you mentioned कि आप एक बार enter कर जाओगे, but उसके बाद what happens is that you have to continuously equip yourself or upgrade yourself. So on that front, sir, there are questions that are coming from the audience. What's the one skill you think all kids or adults must have?
Sorry.
All kids and adults must have.
So I think it's communication skill, which I feel is very important. If you're not able to open up, then the world is not going to know your true potential, and your potential will lie within. So let's say, sir, if I take your example, you have potential, you opened this platform. So you communicated with lots of people and you got to meet us and big investors there. So communication is the skill which I think you have to open up. Second thing is you shouldn't be worried about the failures. So and you should not wait for the perfection. If we wait for the perfect time to launch ourselves into market or to come into market or get placed for some particular job, there is no perfect time as such. We are not going to be perfect at any time. It is continuous learning. So you should have this two skill. First is continuous learning and second is communication. Good communication is necessary. If specifically, if you want to go for a job, then two skills are required. The one is leadership skill at later stage and at earlier stage, teamwork. So specifically for job, teamwork and leadership, and in your life, communication and continuous learning, I say.
Amazing, amazing, sir. Like these are like very valid, and for the audience, communication is very important. Whether you are it is oral or written communication in any form, you need to know how to express yourself. Then only the world will know that who you are and what identity you are creating for yourself. So that's the other thing is that's from the question from Shivansh. Can students register for CPT after grade 10 or is it only available after grade 12?
So now CPT is not there. CA Foundation replaced CPT. Earlier it was for 200 marks and now it has become for 400. Secondly, you can register after 10th, but you can give your examination only after appearing your 12th board. So
Oh,
registration can be done, but exams later.
great. So my next question, and like these questions have come up to us even as a platform where we conduct live classes. That बहुत parents ये पूछते हैं कि online अच्छा है या offline या blended. So ये confusion है. And last 2 years during the pandemic, when the whole era of online education came into being and like basically bursted, that it was there बाहर थी इंडिया में लास्ट 2.5 years में it has like gone up like anything. So and you being an educator staying in Pune teaching close to 2500 to 3000 kids across the country, and obviously there will be millions of kids who would be getting to learn from you. So what are your thoughts on the changing landscape of the education as an industry, please sir?
So basically, now the answer will be very much subjective. So if you consider competitive exam, that is post graduation or after completing your plus two, then the level of sincerity is so high in students that they manage it online as well, and they are much concerned about their career, so they manage it well there. Also, now teachers are very much comfortable teaching online. We have so much good studios and everything that the student don't feel they're out of classroom. In fact, they feel that they are having one-on-one conversation. So this is the good thing which online education brought. But many students who lack sincerity, who needs discipline, who wants teacher to have control over them. So these students are not able to perform well, even in competitive exam, even after like they are of age of 21 or 22, yet they lack in sincerity. So for those students, yes, this is a drawback. But now we can consider a silver lining here, that a teacher who's good, let's say, I'll take my example. If a student in Jammu and another student in Calcutta want to study from me, then I cannot teach both of this, one in Jammu and another one in Kolkata. So online education made it possible for the teachers to deliver their best knowledge, best content from anywhere, and student across country can access this content of best teachers. So this is one good part which I feel. Second, if I talk about small kids, so this online education cannot replace the school learning. Students will continue to go to school, and for these students, there was a requirement of a platform where they can, learn good things online. So Playbook is doing a good role there. Playbook is providing them all the relevant content. So for school going kids, online was never an option. They should meet the people, they should understand how the thing works, they should be able to interact with student, with colleague, with teachers, with everyone. Actually, there should be a bonding between everything, and school helps this. So school is going to be there, colleges are going to be there. Further, this competitive examination and further studies, online education is good, and the safe content which we talk about, the good content which should be made available to small kids. So Playbook is taking care of that. So I think online is not a problem, and studying online is not the thing we should consider as a, like something different which we are doing. It's very normal now. Online education has become a part for small students. We cannot replace schooling. We should provide something extra which Playbook is providing. And at competitive level, everything is going to get shifted online. In year 2014, we came to know that these things are going to happen. So you will be able to relate with this. So in group two, students attendance are very less in classes. So for first group, they generally attend the classes, and second group, what they do is they do it along with articleship. You must be aware of that thing. So we saw this culture coming since 2014, that everything is going to get shifted online. It happened at a rapid pace in 2020 due to COVID. Otherwise, it could have also in year 2024, 25 maybe. So we predicted this, and this is the future. Online is going to be the future.
Great, great. So the important key points that you mentioned, I would just like to repeat is that online is going to stay. It is an enabler rather than a replacement of formal offline education. The second thing is that when it comes to kids, they need engagement, they need that involvement, and like whether it's Playbook or the other platforms, we are ensuring that in a small group where a lot of engagement can be done by a mentor or an educator to nurture them, to give them that comfortable space of interacting with students, not just from their neighborhood, but also giving them that perspective that someone from Pune can learn with someone from Calcutta or Bangalore, and all of them are different individuals. So this is one thing that online has brought into the limelight, and it is benefiting a lot of learners across the country, and we are happy to basically get this validation from you, sir. The next thing is that, like, how has your teaching experience been? I mean, you have like seen the shift. So yourself, putting yourself, it's not that you have 20 or 30 years of experience in different fields, but you are like young, probably like younger than me as well. So how has your experience been and the kind of shift that has happened?
So, sir, I started my teaching online. Means in year 2018, we saw this shift in 2014. So, in my very first batch, so camera was placed in front of me. I was very shy, and you know, camera fear I had in my mind. So, 60, 70 students used to sit in front of me, and the camera used to be placed. So, I did not see that shift because only students were removed from my class and only camera was placed in this online world since 2020. So in my very first year of, or I can say very first batch, I was made comfortable with this online teaching. So as far as my experience is concerned in delivering the lectures, it is same like it was in very first batch, so nothing new. But yes, I saw that many teachers who are teaching since last 20, 30 years, they were not comfortable teaching online. They are not that great, or I can say they are not that tech savvy. So maybe they found it really challenging task, especially during the COVID time when they were not aware about the technology. Earlier, it used to cost, or I'll tell you, earlier it used to cost nearly 20,000 to record 1 hour's lecture in year 2014. And now you can get entire setup at like 30, 40,000, and you can use it lifelong. So that thing also some educator who are experienced and teaching offline since last many years were not aware of. So they found it really challenging. But for me, I had good mentors. I worked with India's best teacher in CA fraternity. So wasn't that tough, but yes, it is really great teaching online because you see, sitting here, I can talk and interact and teach many students across the country. So this has given us the scale and really great experience in this.
Great. So, I mean, the experience has been great for you, and also that you have stayed and equipped yourself with technology, and also made sure that you are reaching to a larger mass and spreading knowledge, because that's the most important thing. We often think that if we are acquiring some knowledge, we should keep it to ourselves. But since you have taken an initiative, and a lot of other students also, so this is one piece of advice, that don't, if you learn something new, share it. You've got a platform in the form of a story, quiz, or crossword, or blog, at least, because some other person, if you're reading a book, some other person who doesn't know about that, if they read your blog, they might get interested. So these are the things that you should be very conscious about, and keep sharing it, because you also get coins for on the platform if you create anything or if you learn something new. And for the audience, the summer camp is on. It's a 45-day long summer camp that we're organizing. Just download the app. It's for free. The schedules are updated for week 4, and week 5 schedules will be coming in a few days, in a couple of days. So, and keep, you can learn, you can share, you can create, and you can also earn. So there are Kindles that have been won, boat headphones, etc. And we'll show the platform towards the end of the session. So Aditya sir, like one of the last things that I want to ask you is that you spoke about the shift from offline to online, spoke about the necessary skill sets that are required for students, formal education, importance of formal education, and of course the ever-changing 21st century, how to continuously learn. The thing that I wanted to know, and I'm sure the audience would also love to know about it, is that the suggestions that you would be giving to the kids on basically staying updated about things that are happening, how to basically stay updated about the news or any new technology that is coming in, that might not give them an immediate benefit. बिकॉज होता क्या कि हमें यही सिखाया है कि इंस्टेंट ग्रेटिफिकेशन, मैंने एग्जाम के पेपर लिखा, मुझे मार्क्स मिला, अच्छा मार्क्स मिला तो मुझे प्राइज मिल रहा है, नहीं हुआ तो मुझे डांट डांट पड़ेगी। तो ये जो चीज है, ये जो हमारे इनग्रेन्ड है सिस्टम में, ये एक अगर मुझे आप लाइक ऑडियंस को भी बताते हैं, मुझे भी बताते हैं, क्योंकि हमें भी ऐसे इंसेंटिव्स दी जाती है कि आप ये करोगे तो आपको एक्स मिलेगा, वरना नहीं।
So I used to wonder about crypto mining. पहले मैं समझ नहीं पाता था कि crypto mining क्या है, and I used to think कि मेरे लिए तो है नहीं, I shouldn't look at that particular thing. And now I can see that the Bitcoin has raised so much. Some people have become Bitcoin billionaires and all that thing. So the point which I want to tell from this is we should be explorer. We should explore each and everything, and we might land up to something that or that particular thing which may drive us, which may drive our passion. Or it's not that we are born with some particular passion, that in grade one we discover what is our passion. So we should keep exploring and keeping ourselves updated. Not only means that we are reading some news article or working on some particular application or any particular projects we are working on. Updation means everything. Whatever we see, we should be of a nature to explore that particular thing. And if we explore that, we will get some knowledge, and it may happen that we can develop our interest in that particular thing. I have seen many people, like I'll take example of one great teacher and one great influencer, Rachna Ranade ma'am. She is a good influencer. So she used to teach in Pune. She's teaching now as well. She discovered her passion for stock market very lately. I was watching her session. So she told that she discovered this passion very lately. She was exploring some stock. She was trying to understand some concept, not with instant validation that I'm learning this, I should be able to make money out of this. She did not watch or she did not work in that particular area of finance to get something or any monetary reward. She started exploring, and she's on the top of YouTube, I can say, for the financial terms, financial channel. She had the biggest channel, I can say. So what I mean to say is we should be explorer, and exploring things keeps us updated, and we might land up by becoming some billionaire or a unicorn company we can become like. So
Amazing. So,
keep exploring, and this is the kind of updation which is required in these days.
great, great. Yeah, so financial knowledge is not restricted to if whether or not you want to pursue CA as a career, but financial literacy is important. Whether it's bitcoins, whether it's crypto, whether it's any other new financial instrument, in order to make money, you need to know what money is and how to manage money and develop those interests. So on that note, like we have a question from Mr. Kamal Sharma that so like is it worth doing CA during these times? Because and this question sir मुझे भी काफी बार like लोगों ने पूछा है कि इतना लंबा होता है, मैं MBA करूंगा तो मुझे X सैलरी मिल जाएगी, CA बहुत लंबा होता है, बीच में आर्टिकल शिफ्ट करना पड़ता है, तो and this question came up which I would have asked anyway. So yes.
I think CA is good profession to do. I'll say if we consider the length of this particular course, it's 4.5 years. एक आध attempt लग भी गया तो 5 years. In this 5 years, you have to study only for 2 years. 3 hours, 3 years are practical training basically. So whatever work you want to do for rest of your life, you are going to see the trailer. You are learning that thing in these 3 years, and you can apply this for rest of your life. So I can say जो CA का duration है, it is not 5 years, it's just 2 years, and 3 years are practical training. Very much doable, and CA is required everywhere. So एक छोटा पान की दुकान वाला रहा, if he wants to take loan, he requires CA's signature or CA project report, whatever works here. And a big auditing firm, you say, or multinational corporation, everyone needs CA. In fact, to run the business, to understand the finance, if the company is in bad condition financially or is in good condition, have ample of money with them, surplus money with them. So every time guidance and consultation of CA is required. So this profession is not going to die, and the name might get changed. Maybe today we are called as chartered accountant. Few years down the line, we will be called as something else. But the work is going to remain same. So I think this is the best profession you can do.
Correct. So, like I totally believe in this, and that was one of the reasons for pursuing this course because the business knowledge, business sense, financially, how does things impact an organization or in life also. A lot of my friends didn't understand the meaning of GST or VAT in a bill when we went to a restaurant, but I did that. So these are things that made me feel good about it because I was studying it and I also knew the impact of different forms of taxation. Today, it's helping me, although I'm not a practicing CA, but surely it is helping me in running the organization in a healthy manner when it comes to finances. So yeah, so on that note, sir, like questions from audience have been taken. As I told you that CA Aditya Sharma is a mentor to me. I really get inspired about his journey, how he struggled and then risen from the ashes. Didn't go for engineering, but now today educating thousands of students and took out time from his busy schedule to actually spend time and share his knowledge and his journey with all of us. A quick look at the platform. So basically, Playbook is providing you with the summer camp that is ongoing. You can read stories. Now this is you watch Netflix, but you can have a Netflix of stories which will develop your reading habit. You can play crosswords, you can play quizzes, you can watch videos. All of it will help you in building skills. And the best thing is that you get points for everything that you do on the platform. And you can proudly say if you have earned something, you buy things from the store, and there are a lot of goodies which would be added on the store. We have Nitya who's just won a Kindle last week. Someone has won a scooter. There are a lot of headphones that have been ordered. So keep creating, keep sharing, keep learning and learning from each other, not just keeping your knowledge to yourself. So that note, sir, like many thank you
Thank you so
to
much, sir.
you for taking out time for sharing about your journey and being very honest about how things happened rather than only giving something like that the life looks rosy. No, it's not rosy. It comes with its own struggles, but don't fear failing. That's what sir told us, and that's what we believe in. So keep making mistakes, keep learning from your mistakes. Stay tuned for yet another session at Playbook. Subscribe to the app, like download the app, subscribe to our channel, and we'll be back with yet another interesting session in the coming days. So thanks a lot, sir, and
Thank
have
you.
a great evening. Wish you all